Ethiopia is really developing itself as a major transport hub for Africa, but I'd also think beyond Africa, the Middle East, and even the world. And the best example we have is Ethiopian Airlines, already a very well-known big player in the aviation industry, now embarking on building a new state-of-the-art modern airport about 30-40 kilometers outside of Addis. So it's clear that Ethiopia has this potential to be really a transport and connecting hub, whether it's an airport or highways or railways or seaports. All of them will allow you for logistical connectivity or physical connectivity. But behind there, you also, of course, need to have your digital infrastructure that allows you then to communicate reliably, fast with the rest of the world, where all, these goods and services are coming from. So that's where, we believe that the global gateway can be a key enabler to allow for those logistical hubs to really reach their full potential. You know that Ethiopia is a landlocked country, so fixed connectivity and then access to the sea, to the submarine cables is not that straightforward. I mean, Addis is 500 or 1,000 kilometers away from the sea. So you need to make sure that there are reliable, redundant, high-speed fiber access to the major points, whether it's Mombasa, Djibouti, or other places along the coast, so that you can really integrate the Ethiopian telco infrastructure into the web or to the entire submarine cable system. Otherwise, you will not be really part of that integrated worldwide infrastructure network if your cables are not connecting the same way as your transport routes. So fixed is definitely a massive opportunity for investment, on top, of course, of the more traditional things that we do as a mobile provider, which is 4G and 5G wireless connectivity, but they need a very strong fixed network behind it for them also to be able to work properly. Ethiopia here can learn from East Africa. When you look at how Uganda, Tanzania, and Kenya, now also adding maybe Rwanda on top of it, how they are integrated in terms of movement of people and also movement of goods and movement of payments. It makes it quite easy. You're sitting in Uganda and you have a container arriving in Mombasa. You can do customs clearance in Mombasa, or you can do it at a dry port. You can make the payments because of digital payments that allow for cross-border payments. So I think learning from those best practices would be the best and the easiest and fastest way for Ethiopia to achieve similar kind of regional integration. We have a few very well advanced technology companies in Europe. We work a lot with Nokia, but there are others. In France, for example, there are quite a number of technology companies that are at the forefront of cybersecurity, IT security solutions. So I don't think as a European community, we should shy away from competing with the rest of the world, in particular China. So as an investor, I think you really need to scan what the opportunity is and fill in those gaps. And, obviously, the more technology sophisticated, probably the more opportunity there is. When you look at the pyramid in terms of complexity or technology advancement, it is probably at the top end where the biggest opportunities are sitting, and not necessarily at the basic infrastructure works that are very possible to do them locally. So I would say the opportunity sits in collaboration so that you fill in gaps and you don't try to redo things that already exist locally, because that will not work. The opportunity we have in Ethiopia, just like in many other countries on the continent, is that you can leapfrog, and you don't need to go into the traditional way of economic development. You can go straight into advanced technologies without having to go through all these different steps that Europe or other parts of the world have gone through. If you wait for everything to be perfect, then probably the opportunity to really invest is already gone. Because if you are too fast, then maybe you get exposed to too much risk. I'm also not a geopolitical macroeconomist, but I think we are here as Safaricom in Ethiopia for the last 4 years operational. We believe that this is the right time to invest.